We're doing like a new series here, I guess, where I am sharing myself on the internet. Isn't that what you guys want from me? Isn't that what you want? Anyways, we are going to grab one of my past journals and do some divination and get a line from one of those, and that will be the indicator if this reading is for you. Little red journal. I have so many journals, guys. I am a journal girly. This is from 2017. Damn, I didn't fill this one out that much. Bummer. Okay. Here. This is a page dedicated to role models that I had. One was my art teacher. One was a camp counselor. Actually, two were camp counselors. One was my high school, advisor, and then my mom. That's so cute. About my art teacher, I admired her creativeness, her humor, and her discipline. She acted as a friend, but most importantly, as a teacher. Another camp counselor, her gentle tone and willingness to help others. This other camp counselor, I admired her strength and authority. My high school, it's so interesting. This is a very neurodivergent experience where like I was more friends with my authority figures than my peers. My advisor was, I so much gratitude for her. Anyways, this seems like this is like an invitation for you guys, is to like, who do you admire? Interesting that I started out this reading with like, isn't this what you guys want from me? Is like to be vulnerable. It's very Pluto in Aquarius. So if you're feeling that, if you're feeling like you're in this space where you're like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? So we're going to really dive into who you are. I want to affirm your energy and then like momentum forward. Okay, so if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. If not, that's fine. I have plenty of other readings, and the best way you guys can support me as a reader is subscribing to my newsletter. It's totally free. It's where I channel the upcoming astrological transits to your inbox every Monday. It's a sort of like guide point for the week ahead. Okay, so tell me about the person who's watching this. Let's give them a little love. Oh yeah. It's so interesting. You have such bright visions, and this is a confirmation. You kind of keep them boxed up. With the box, and just even looking at the colors outside of the box, you have this sort of pattern with like, you see everything. You have the gift of sight. You have the gift of being able to see beyond what's just presently in front of you, but it's something that you keep boxed up. The Lover, you have a massive heart and big feelings too. And I think that's probably partially why you keep everything kind of locked up, because you see love in everything, and that can just feel unsafe sometimes. Oh man, and we have the thread too. Like this is a big confirmation for those of you who are like, I know I came here for a specific purpose. I know that I am here to embody a specific thing. And for some of you, the box is really, actually, it's interesting that I brought up like that being in high school. My autobiography in high school was called Boxed. And this was like kind of my, I definitely relate with your experience where I've kept myself in a very specific container because I was raised very religious, and like stepping outside of that, stepping outside of my comfort zone was really intense. And especially now, like as neurodivergent, as if I never was prior, but being able to recognize that within myself now is very like, oh, it's freeing. And deep feelings, but also destiny oriented. That is you. So tell me, Spirit, what's moving? What's the movement forward? I want to know. Let me in. We have the Maiden, the Warrior, the Self, the Medallion, and the River, and the Vow, and the Bridge. Holy cow, do we have a story here? It's kind of like I wish I had like little like toys to be like, this is what's happening. But there's this very clear affirmation. It's like what I'm hearing is like you've kind of played like this movement forward is like you're checking off boxes kind of things where I'm seeing like Girl Scout like badges. Like it's like, yes, I've done this thing and I've done this thing, where it's like I've embraced like moving through maidenhood, I've embraced like my inner warrior, and now like my identity feels secure. And like it's almost like this surface level stuff, but then what's coming through with the river here, the river's like this threshold. It's kind of like this baptism where it's like you're entering in and something's changing, and it's sort of this vow to continue interesting, this vow to continue movement forward, where it's like you can't stop now. And I'm hearing like, is that a Queen song? Nothing can stop me now, or something like da 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 da. I want to know, like, after this river, that went really far, hold on. Well, guys, it's like I feel like you guys have embraced your radiance. Like you're like, I know who I am. Oh my gosh, so many Mormon songs have been popping up. I heard, I know who I am, I know God's plan, I'll follow in his way. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I know who I am, I know God's plan, I'll follow in his way. I'll do what is right. And that's so interesting. Those keep coming up in my readings, so I might have some Xmos in my readings, and it feels kind of prevalent, I'm not gonna lie. We have the dead end, the village, and the desert. You can't go back. It's like you've already been through this, like leaving home and like being out on your own in the wilderness, and it's like there's a part that feels like, can I go back? Oh, interesting. Some of you got, okay, this whole reading just flipped. Like my brain was like, oh, it's supposed to be read from right to left. So some of you guys might be studying like Japanese or Chinese, different dialects that like are read in a different direction. Weird, because it's like you've crossed this threshold, you vow, now it's like changing, where that's what's happening, is it's like once you've like realized I can't go back, it's like now you're doubling back and you're going back the other direction, and it's a whole different reclamation of self, where it's almost like I feel like you did this self-reclamation all on your own, and you were like, yeah, I'm good, but then you came back to the village and you're like, oh yeah, no, I can't do this, like no, I need to share who I am. And so now it's going back. And so you're crossing the bridge, you're making a vow to jump into the river to achieve your goal and become yourself, embrace the warrior and the maiden. Like it's literally, you are completely like, it's like you climbed up the mountain and you got to the top of the mountain thinking that like it would bring you closer to your upbringing or to certain things, like, or help you be closer to the people of your past, and you're like, oh no, they're not changing who they are. I did all this work to like evolve as a person and they're not matching me, so I'm going back down the mountain. And you're relearning different aspects of yourself through this different perspective, and it feels a lot more healing. It's actually very beautiful, like a shift of perspective. It's making me think of, oh, this is this Mercury retrograde, guys. I was like, this is making me think of retrograde planetary movements, where the planets go one way and then it goes back over the path. And it's like, I feel like this is going to be a trajectory that Mercury stations retrograde on the 26th, I believe. And yeah, I shared about that over on my astrology account, so you guys can check that out. At the end of this, something's going to be offered to you at the end of this sort of, yeah, again, this feels very like Mercury retrograde coded. I'll put on the screen some of those Mercury details of like why this is coming up, but I feel like you are going to gain something from this experience. And I'm going to leave this here. If you want to dive deeper, my readings are open.